World of peace must come.
Candy Face Lane. Candy Face Lane, below the gate, is filled with only fright and hate, and has brought man to this terrible state. A candy kiss here, a candy kiss there, words, no heart in them, nothing but air. Below the facade of the candy face lies the destruction of the race, of all mankind, looking so desperately, hoping to find in the candy-filled dream a glimpse of the real, a hush of the scream. Soul shattered, beginning to shout, candy face, the sugars run out. There's no peppermint left, no chocolate to spare, only mankind filled with despair. The nuclear age of violence and rage waits and waits for a great wonderful sage to turn the page. When will it stop? Will the Candy Lane cow be butchered to death with his brother? Or how will he strive in a Candy Lane way to reach his last gleaming ray? A love that is real, not a Candy Lane kind. A love that can see, not one that is blind. A love that knows every step of the way. A ray of light came to Candy Face Lane, was slaughtered and torn and rose again. The candy cane world nailed the light on a hill, but it still shines, yes, ever so still. It guides the water through an endless stream. It lives on and on through the dissolving dream. It's a candy face time, but beneath the skin is the muck of the man, the separation known as sin. On walks the Candy Lane man as if he set his own course, not knowing all come from the source. Life is not a fragment scattered around. It is our harmonious one with no Candy Lane sound. The light shined and bled, and with his dying words he said, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. The Candy Lane men think I'm finished. Yes, they think I'm through. But I'm only the beginning. The Messiah has not yet come. I'm only a start, a teacher of the way. A sage of lies, a front, yet beneath there is no golden fleece, no covering leaf. The Candy Lane man stands naked in his frame, in his fortune, in his love, in his hoping and his fame. He's a Candy Lane man, a shadow, an illusion, a breaker of the whole, a spreader of confusion. He thinks that each man is a separate panel, never knowing man is only a channel of the one, a transparent of the source, a channel of love, the one creating force. A soul mixed up and torn, a searcher trying to get high on your Candy Lane drugs, and why? The Candy Lane high is empty and cold, yet you go back and back again looking for it to hold, and you're down again in Candy Face Lane, and you're in a psychiatric ward, and you're nearly insane. The last act is over now. The props are all torn down. Your Candy Face Lane and world and values are crumbling, yes, crumbling to the ground. I am waiting for tomorrow, and in it hope to find the meaning of my life. I once knew, but have forgotten what a child feels and hopes, what it means to be born. I am waiting, like the earth in morning darkness waits to turn its face toward the sun, waiting for the light of vision. I am waiting. Will you tell me why there is a sky or clouds, or why man has a heart that can be broken? I am waiting, but sometimes do not understand the reason for a world and why life is. I am waiting for you, mysterious darkness, unknowable secret, cornerstone of all that is, you who knows the secret of each birth, you who have made me what I am. I do not know you. I cannot see your face. You hide within the lotus blossom. The sun's face covers up your nakedness. You are the unseen face behind each thing I see. I am waiting to touch your breast and eternally embrace you. I am waiting in uncertainty, tamed by serene thoughts, spent in hours of contemplation of you. There is only you and nothing else. You are my life and the life of my beloved, the life of our little dog. You are the gentle earth beneath my feet. Your life is the air I breathe, the food I eat. Your tears are the tears I cry. Your hope is the hope I feel. You wait for yourself like I wait to be born. You are waiting in silence, in each heart. You are waiting in the waters of the tranquil lake. Yes, you who I have worshipped are also waiting. You are waiting in me for yourself. You are waiting in winter's white quilt. You are covering up your secret longing. You are waiting for your birth. You are every moment passing, every eye that sees, every hand that touches, every heart that feels. You are every secret passion, every wish unrealized. You are the one I love, the one who loves me. You are the one who trembles. You are the one born in the manger in Bethlehem. You are the covering up of sorrow. You are the fullness of pain. You are the reality of the dream, the realization of hope. You are a sleeping bear in winter hibernating. You are a poem without a master. Your life is an endless cycle of frustration, joy, and sorrow. On the morning of your birth, you will see a miracle, a new world being formed, and all this life's waiting will cease.
Feeling no guilt or shame, boldly I march onward, bowing down before no man. Every feeling, every urging, every hoping, longing, dreaming, everything that I encounter, I embrace and love, and once through it cannot hate it, only laugh and still move onward, never stopping. Shoulders strong and back so mighty, lifting pine woods in the forest, throwing pebbles in the river. I loaf and watch them skip, running down the steep and green hill. Pricker bushes jagged cut me, make me bleed a blood of redness, blending brightly with the bushes. Both are from the same creator, climbing trees with swaying branches. I fall back to the ground. Streets were dark and shadows lonely, highways spreading into cities, lights shining, blinding, people laughing, drunk, not caring, not comprehending living, only walking as if dying, blaming all except themselves for their lives of utter desperation, for the darkness that they cling to so tightly and so deeply. Am I stirred deeply in my being as I see the hungry masses, both for food and for themselves, clutch every hopeful message, whether truthful or illusion, hoping there to find the answer, never looking at the moonlight, listening to the crickets sing songs of every passing moment, watching water falling downward over falls into a valley, rain that falls and never touches roots of humans like the trees. The deer, the elk, the raven, the white and snow-capped Arctic, the ice that hangs from glaciers, slowly drifting, marching, melting, hand in hand, caress each other. La da 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 da.
Poems can never make adequate explanations for man and his many hesitations and his constant deviation from what is real. They love me through wooden eyes. The tree of love in one heart lies. The bough brushes gently along the ground, for waiting souls long to touch it. It's mystical and deep and sorely needing, and cautious and slow to constant heating, and has been eternally bleeding. It lies in deserts and in the sand. In mountains one can sense the hand that molded shelf by shelf the lower and the higher self. It placed man somewhere in between what is and what seems to have been, the spark of all in the machine. It asked him only to obey, the heart within, the only way. From ancient histories of the past, through destructions and nuclear blast, the only breath that one sees last is the breath of love. Through its nostrils clean, it breathed pure air, till man put hate and impurities there, pervading the atmosphere, released by thought, separating each from the eternal ought. Not ought to be or ought to do, but the ought of spirit, which told the secret there is no man, no woman, no sex, no creed, no race, but only spirit on a constant chase toward itself, shelf by shelf, building, growing, and forever flowing. The hour is approaching, the animal is dying, the spirit is moving upward and forever trying. Dissolving all that came before, the new man speaks as one who knows, not with words of brass or steel-edged lies, or pleading groans or cries. He speaks of all that there can be in living the life of eternity, which does not begin for visitors of the earth, but those that live in the here and now. The dead are walking down the street. Look at them. Each other's eyes constantly meet, and they know in their heart that death is necessary for one to grow. They die to old thoughts, old habits. And live with what is new. And that is man, that is a heart that flows into all hearts, that lifts up and laughs and purifies. On the other side of death is life, and life is loving, and zombies who gather together in congregations and mass strangulations feel the bubble is bursting because their soul is thirsting for a touch of the hand, the magic hand that with fingers finer than pure gold, fingers not made of flesh or bone, fingers that are all things. This magic hand echoes as a symbol in every land, that itself, it is a part of every man.
Let me tell you of a lonely man who lived many, many years ago, and he searched for a love in a distant land, and he didn't know where to go. He searched here and there and everywhere, and the love he could not find, the love he could not find. He searched in Canada and Spain and in Italy. He searched around Gibraltar and near the Red Sea, and the love was there, was everywhere, but the love he did not see. It was in the flower in the meadow, the brook running by the sea, the apple in the orchard, the cherry on the tree. Yes, love is there, is everywhere, but the love he did not see. And then I saw the lonely man, and his eyes lit up with glee. He slowly formed a smile, so warm and tenderly, and the heavens they did open, and their light came shining down, and there's no longer any lonely man around. The flower in the meadow, the brook running by the sea, the apple in the orchard, the cherry on the tree. Yes, the love was there, was everywhere. The love he finally did see.
Hi, Steve. Oh, Be Still and Know You Are. Wasn't that a cut on? That was a cut on our album, wasn't it?
It was a cut on the Friends album.
On the Friends
Beach
album?
Boys Friends album.
Dennis sang the lead, didn't he?
Yeah, and Dennis wrote it with me.
You wrote a poem on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote a poem called "Be Still Is a Thought to Live By." I thought it was such a meaningful song that I didn't want to let it stop at a song. I wanted to turn into something.
Do you want me to play some organ on it, or do you want to do it alone?
Why don't you
I'll play some organ. You want to do it now?
play the organ now? Okay. Be still is a thought to live by. Be still and know you are. Be still and listen to your heartbeat. Feel it pumping blood and energy and life into every cell in your body. Know that your life is meant for joy, that you are meant to grow sturdy like the tall oak tree. Know that like the flower takes the sun and wind and rain and eventually blossoms, your life too must go through many changes. You must take in many thoughts and much experience before you blossom. Be still and know that your life is meant for joy, and know that creation is meant for joy. All life, from the tiny one-cell life to the unimaginable life of the galaxies and planets, is moving toward a better and higher state of life for mankind. Be still and know that it's all so deep within your heart. As you hear and feel your heartbeat, feel all life from millions of years in the past to life in the glorious future. Feel they are now alive in you, that you are now partaking in this life with no beginning and no end. When the individual that you are becomes ashes, the soul that lives in you will live on forever. Be still and know that life is beautiful. Are not the oceans and snow-capped mountains beautiful? Is not the little child learning to walk and sing and cry and grow beautiful? Be still and know that a seed becomes a tree. A seed becomes all life. Within one seed, we come to realize that we have all sprung forth from love. A tree, as it grows from the seed, develops patience and courage and strength. There are many phases in the seed's development when it feels it cannot go on, but it keeps growing on into a full-grown tree. And then again it goes back to life to blossom again in some other form. Be still and know that the child in the womb grows little arms and legs and a heart, and he is the beginning of the future, the beginning of what will come after him. But in what comes after him, he will still be alive as blood. Be still and know that each child is his mother and father, yet more. He is an individual who will experience suffering and pain and sorrow and growth and joy. Now is the time. Life begins. Billions of flowers and plants grow and begin their journey. Their path is simple. Be still and know that man too must take that simple path, and love will set him free. He must live in harmony with himself and life, and love will set him free. Be still and know you are. Know that where you are, all life was formed from a void. Know that where you are, you can plant seeds for the future. The thoughts and actions that you have now, the smiles, the good thoughts, the love that you give to your brothers and sisters, know that all this is a part of God. Be still and know you are. Be still, be still, be still, and listen to the stirrings within your own heart.
Hello, I'm a rich man, but my riches are not of gold. I hope you'll listen carefully, for my story will be told. Every step that I walk along in life, I shall walk along with love. Where hate and violence are taught and thought, I will think peace and love. I will think peace and love. Where destruction is predicted, I will cry out victory. Victory over poverty and victory over disease. Victory over ignorance, hate and greed and selfishness. Every step that I walk along in life, I shall walk along with love. The giant steps, the feeble steps, the steps that trip me. Love will always be there to lift me up. Love is the power that makes trees grow. Love is the power that breathes through all life, and it will always be there to lift me up. Goodbye, I'm a rich man, but my riches are not of gold. I hope you've listened carefully, for my story has been told. Every step that I walk along in life, I shall walk along with love. La da 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 la. I will walk along with love. A world of peace must come. This is the name of the first part of this album, which these 11 poems and chants are all a part of. And it is the hope of this album to throw a few of these thoughts and a few of these poems to a few people, and to say that a world of peace must come. There is no alternative. Either we must learn to get along and live together as brothers in harmony, or we destroy ourselves. There's no third alternative. It's one of the two. And I believe that we can all work together, and a world of peace must come. Silver is the evening, yellow is the day. Gently flows the laughter, the children are at play. Oh, now is the time, oh, reach out for joy. Spread the news of love, a world of peace must come. A world of peace must come. Swiftly moves the raw water, swiftly sways the tree. Love comes from the spirit and it breathes a heart for me. Oh, now is the time, oh, reach out for joy. Spread the news of love, a world of peace must come. Love sees through your eyes, love hears through your ears. Sickness crumbles and fades, darkness disappears. Listen to the water, listen to the sky. Live in each passing moment, or life will pass you by. Oh, now is the time, oh, reach out for joy. Spread the news of love, a world of peace must come. A world of peace must come. A world of peace must come. If you knew that death was a thought, would you let it dissolve and live forever? If you knew that what was real in life could not be bought, would you strive so hard for empty gold? If you knew that love was giving, would you stand in line waiting? If you knew that love was all, would you spend your time hating? If you knew that every moment was now, would you worry about yesterday or tomorrow? If you knew that listening was with the inner ear and to your heart, would you pay so much attention to idle words? If you knew that love was a leader, would you follow ways of guilt and fright? If you knew that prejudice was a seed, would you plant it in your garden? If you knew that wars could never be won, would you cease your fighting? If you knew that beyond every tear there could someday be laughter, would you bear your hardships in life and not complain? If you knew that your mind was a garden, would you be careful with the tools you use? Would you pull the weeds of lack and discontent and plant seeds of love and fullness? Would you take the whole faith and form resolution that to every problem or trouble, there could be, not necessarily would, but could be a hopeful solution? If you knew that love was God and love was all colors, would you notice if a man were black or white or yellow? If you knew that God is love and love is the only ear that hears through all of our ears, the only eye that sees through all of our eyes, the only breath that breathes through all of us, could you ever see yourself as separate from yourself and from each other? If you knew that all hearts were one heart, would you look outside yourself for God? If you knew that love sees through all, that it breaks down walls and melts unreality and forms a new being in the heart. If you knew that none stand in your way in life except yourself, would you go toward the mark? Could you know that you are timeless, that you are a celebration, a meeting place of events, past and future in this present? If you knew the flowers that grow toward the sun are your sisters, that you are the brother of the moon and the stars and the lover of the little naked child lying in the wilderness, could you ever harm another? Could you ever sacrifice a person? If you knew the blood that runs freshly out of dead soldiers laying on the ground is God's blood, would you shed it so easily? Would you kill your fellow man? If you knew that when you see in your mind's eye a transparent man that has a glowing light around himself, that holds in the palm of his hand galaxies and solar systems and universes, would you know that the man is you?
America, I know you. I feel your open spirit. I roam in your open meadows. I taste the oranges from your orange tree. I smell the blossoms of your pear. America, I feel you. I feel your restless spirit as a part of myself. I see you in your snow-capped mountains that like a child's finger touch the sky. America, I know you. Far away from smog and cities full of grime. America, I know your open air and open fields. I fly into your arms. America, I see you in the grazing pastures of your cow, in the sweat of farmers, in the workhorse's eye. America, I touched you in your stony little creeks, on your Indian trails where I found bullets of your past. America, I found you in the caves that as a child I would explore. I felt you in Walt Whitman in the Walden of Thoreau, but most of all I felt you in my heart and mind. I came down your hills and traveled through your streets and drank your water and saw your sunsets and felt your rain upon my bare chest, the rain of America. And I thought that here a dream had come true, that I who came from humble birth could be a part of you and say with my raging, roaring spirit, I am an American, I am an American, I am an American. America, I know you. I have felt Montana winters and seen its highways filled with snow. I have seen the badlands of Dakota painted purples, oranges, blues, and yellows. I have seen the beauty of a Texas sky and thirsted on the desert sand. I have seen 1,000 cactus plants in Arizona and rocks a million different shapes and forms, like two lovers embracing, like an ancient face or a mother carrying a child. I have seen the mighty Columbia River I have heard the tales of how the mountains of Oregon have sprung up from volcanoes of the past. I have hitchhiked through every state and seen a million different faces. I've read books in New York public libraries. I've cut the stone of quarries in Pennsylvania. America, I've baled your hay and milked your cows and shoveled ashes from your cellars. I have fallen asleep in your haylofts and dreamt a million dreams. I've met your rich and poor and laughed with your bums and peasants. I've seen the cruelness of your children, beating other children. I've bathed in New York lakes and sailed on Lake Oneida. I've body surfed in the Pacific and carved my name in the sand. I fell in love in America and married. America, I know you. You are not perfect. You have had many senseless murders and cruel assassinations, and some of your students have destroyed property and rioted, and some of your policemen have been brutal, but with you there still is hope. America, you are the hope of the world. America, I love you. America, I know you. I hear you crying. Crying to those who live in cities, to those whose hearts are broken, to those whose souls are torn. Crying, come my children, see me. In my winters, in my summers, in my autumn springs, touch me, feel me, grasp me.
World of peace must come.
Leaves of grass, faint and green, look through them to things unseen. They make the fog of the sky. They make the little baby cry. Watch them touch the ground as the leaves fall down. They are a child at play. The leaves have so much to say. They are the footprints in the snow. They can make the streams of darkness flow. Watch them touch the ground as the leaves fall down. They are all people of places and of things. Everything, everything, everything I can think of is a watch them touch the ground as the leaves fall down.